Mazda is making one thing very clear. The internal combustion engine is not going away. While much of the automotive industry continues pouring billions into battery electric vehicles, Mazda is taking a different approach. The Japanese automaker is developing a new generation of gasoline engines designed not to compete with electrification, but to work alongside it. At the center of that strategy is skyactiv-z, Mazda's next-generation 2.5-liter four-cylinder gasoline engine, and this isn't simply another update to the company's familiar skyactiv-z lineup. Mazda is developing skyactiv-z around more efficient combustion, lower emissions, improved real-world efficiency, and integration with a new Mazda-developed hybrid system. But there's an important detail to understand. Mazda has not announced that every 2027 vehicle will suddenly switch to skyactiv-z. The first confirmed application is the next-generation CX-5, with Mazda targeting the new engine and hybrid system for introduction by the end of 2027. So what exactly is Mazda changing? Skyactiv-z represents Mazda's next major step beyond the skyactiv-g and skyactiv-x technologies used in its current gasoline engines. The goal sounds simple: make the engine more efficient across a much wider range of real-world driving conditions. That's actually one of the hardest challenges in engine development. A traditional gasoline engine can achieve excellent efficiency when operating within a relatively narrow range of conditions. But real-world driving rarely stays there. Drivers accelerate, slow down, climb hills, carry passengers, merge onto highways, and constantly change speed. During those conditions, fuel consumption and emissions can increase. Mazda wants skyactiv-z to maintain a higher level of combustion efficiency across more of that operating range. And that means balancing three competing priorities: performance, efficiency, and emissions. More performance can require more fuel. Extreme efficiency measures can sometimes affect throttle response and driving character. And increasingly strict emissions regulations make the engineering challenge even harder. Mazda believes its new combustion strategy can improve that balance. skyactiv-z is being developed with future emissions requirements in mind, including regulations such as Euro 7 in Europe and increasingly demanding standards in North America. But cleaner combustion is only one part of the story. The other major piece is electrification. Perhaps the most important part of the skyactiv-z strategy is the hybrid system that will accompany it. Mazda has confirmed plans to pair the new engine with a Mazda-developed hybrid system. That could significantly change the way the next-generation CX-5 feels from behind the wheel. An electric motor can deliver torque almost instantly. That means stronger initial response when pulling away from a stop, smoother acceleration, and additional assistance when the gasoline engine needs it most. At the same time, the hybrid system can allow the gasoline engine to spend more time operating in its most efficient range. The result could be better fuel economy without sacrificing responsiveness. And that second point is particularly important for Mazda. For decades, the company has promoted its Jinba Itai philosophy, the idea of creating a natural connection between driver and vehicle. Mazda doesn't want electrification to turn its cars into appliances focused purely on efficiency. Instead, the company wants the electric motor and gasoline engine to complement each other. Ideally, that means smoother acceleration, stronger low-speed response, improved efficiency, and a driving experience that still feels distinctly like a Mazda. But there is still one major question: how much power will it make? Right now, Mazda has not released final horsepower and torque figures for skyactiv-z. That means any precise numbers circulating online should be treated as estimates or speculation until Mazda officially announces the specifications. The same applies to acceleration times, fuel economy figures, and detailed hybrid system output. Those numbers could ultimately determine just how significant skyactiv-z really is. Because improving efficiency is one thing, doing it while delivering strong performance is another. The next generation CX-5 is the vehicle to watch. Mazda has confirmed that the CX-5 is intended to receive skyactiv-z together with the company's proprietary hybrid system by the end of 2027. However, there's an important distinction here. The redesigned CX-5 enters its new generation using more familiar Mazda powertrain technology in some markets. Skyactiv-z and the new hybrid system represent a later stage in the powertrain transition. In other words, the CX-5 effectively becomes a bridge between two generations of Mazda technology. And Mazda isn't positioning the future hybrid system simply as a fuel-saving device. The company's development strategy continues to emphasize driving performance alongside efficiency. That suggests Mazda wants the new powertrain to improve the overall ownership experience, not just produce better numbers on an emissions test. The next generation CX-5 is the vehicle to watch. Mazda has confirmed that the CX-5 is intended to receive skyactiv-z together with the company's proprietary hybrid system by the end of 2027. However, there's an important distinction here. The redesigned CX-5 enters its new generation using more familiar Mazda powertrain technology in some markets. Skyactiv-z and the new hybrid system represent a later stage in the powertrain transition. In other words, the CX-5 effectively becomes a bridge between two generations of Mazda technology. And Mazda isn't positioning the future hybrid system simply as a fuel-saving device. The company's development strategy continues to emphasize driving performance alongside efficiency. That suggests Mazda wants the new powertrain to improve the overall ownership experience, not just produce better numbers on an emissions test. Perhaps the most fascinating part of Mazda's strategy involves its most famous engine design, the rotary. Mazda has indicated that combustion technology developed through its newer engine programs could potentially help rotary engines deal with increasingly demanding emissions requirements. That is significant because emissions have always been one of the major challenges facing rotary technology. But there's an important distinction. This does not confirm a new RX sports car for 2027. Mazda has not made such an announcement. What it does show is that Mazda continues to see value in combustion engine development across multiple architectures. That means technologies developed for skyactiv-z could potentially contribute to the future of Mazda's four-cylinder engines, inline-six engines, and rotary technology. Skyactiv-z, therefore, may be more than just one new engine. It could become part of a broader technological foundation for Mazda's future combustion strategy. There's another major change happening behind the scenes. Mazda wants to significantly reduce the complexity of its global powertrain portfolio. The company has discussed reducing the number of engine hardware variations to less than half their previous level, while also consolidating engine control software. That might sound like a minor business decision, but it could have major long-term consequences. Developing and maintaining dozens of different engine configurations requires enormous engineering resources. By reducing the number of core powertrain variations, Mazda can concentrate more development effort on areas such as combustion efficiency, hybrid technology, software calibration, emissions compliance, reliability, and performance. Instead of developing numerous unrelated powertrains, Mazda can share more technology between them. So skyactiv-z isn't simply a new engine, it's part of a much larger restructuring of Mazda's powertrain strategy. And this is perhaps the most important point of all. Mazda's investment in combustion technology does not mean the company is rejecting electric vehicles. Mazda continues to develop battery electric vehicles and other forms of electrification. The difference is that Mazda doesn't appear to believe a single powertrain solution needs to replace everything immediately. Instead, its future lineup can include gasoline engines, hybrids, plug-in hybrids, and fully electric vehicles. The right technology can then be used depending on the vehicle, market, regulations, and customer demand. And that's exactly why skyactiv-z is so interesting. Mazda isn't simply extending the life of an aging gasoline engine. It's developing a new generation of combustion technology specifically designed to work alongside electrification. So, let's separate the confirmed information from the speculation. Mazda is developing skyactiv-z, a new 2.5-liter four-cylinder gasoline engine. The engine is being developed alongside Mazda's own hybrid technology. The next-generation CX-5 is expected to be the first major application, with Mazda targeting introduction by the end of 2027. Technologies developed through the program could eventually influence Mazda's inline-six engines and rotary technology. At the same time, Mazda is working to simplify its global engine portfolio and increase technology sharing between different powertrains. What we still don't know are the numbers enthusiasts care about most: final horsepower, final torque, acceleration, fuel economy, hybrid system output, and complete market availability. Those details will ultimately determine whether skyactiv-z is simply an incremental improvement or a genuine leap forward. But even without those numbers, Mazda's direction is becoming clear. The company isn't choosing combustion instead of electrification, and it isn't choosing electrification instead of combustion. It's trying to combine the strengths of both. A highly efficient gasoline engine can provide range and sustained performance. An electric motor can deliver instant torque and assist the engine when it's least efficient. A sophisticated hybrid system can help reduce fuel consumption while maintaining the responsive driving character Mazda wants its vehicles to have. If Mazda can successfully deliver cleaner combustion, meaningful fuel savings, strong hybrid-assisted acceleration, and the engaging driving experience the brand is known for, skyactiv-z could become one of Mazda's most important powertrain developments in decades. And perhaps the biggest message from Mazda isn't that the gasoline engine is coming back. It's that, in Mazda's view, the gasoline engine still has a role to play, especially when it's combined with electrification rather than used against it.